Hello everyone and welcome to round 4 of the ARL F1 2012 Xbox 360 Championship. It's the Bahrain Grand Prix, and commentating today is Matthew Gallagher, and joining me in the commentary box for a second time is Jody Mills.
I am back again. Ryan is out. I am here. The race is going to be amazing.
Ryan is in fact at archery. But anyway, Season 5 podium. xMattyG took the victory from ACR Raven, and Noble 299 coming home in 3rd place. The Season 5 pole position came from Raven with a 129 flat, so we'll see if we'll get anywhere near that this season.
This week's qualifying report sees the two Rossi drivers, Noble 2909 and xMattyG, going for head-to-head. They've locked out the front row with just 37 thousandths between them. Let's see where the differences were made and lost. Braking for turn 1 at the 100 metre board. Noble keeping a tighter line on the exit, which allows him to open DRS through turn 2, which Matty isn't able to do as he took a wider line on the exit of turn 1, so he wasn't able to open that DRS through turn 2. Turn 3 is easier. They come down towards turn 4, braking about 60 metres before the corner, trying to avoid that curb on the right as best as they can, and they do it perfectly, and then planting the power, trying to keep the rear end in check as they now cross the sector split, and it's Noble who's a 10th up at this point. This right left chicane, very important to keep the front of the car hooked into the apex of the right to get the best line through the left hander as they come down towards that right hand hairpin. Both of them through there beautifully, planting the power nicely, and now coming down towards this difficult double left hander. Very easy to snatch the front left brake, but they both managed to avoid doing that perfectly before coming down this 3rd of 4 straights on this Bahrain track. Very close between them at this point, as you can see from the gear changes and also the track markings. Turning into this left hander, just clipping the curb on the left. They let the car run out wide, open DRS and keeping it open through this long right hander as they now cross the sector split for the 2nd sector. Matty pulling back just a little bit of time, but it's still around 800ths as they hit the curb on the right. Almost identical still, just the smallest margins between them as they come down this final of the straights, down towards the final corner. This is where a lot of lap time can be made or lost. Let's see how they both tackle it. Both of them hitting the apex beautifully, running the car out wide onto the curb just perfectly, and they come towards the line, and as we pause it, that is the gap between 1st and 2nd, Noble and Matty.
Thank you very much for that qualifying comparison, Harry Jacks. Noble 299 did in fact take pole position, only 0.037 seconds ahead of xMattyG, his teammate, in 2nd place. Big Shot Player rounds up the top 3 with 3/10 back from Noble's time. Rich C takes an amazing 4th place once again. This new kid is incredibly quick. TRL Limitless took 5th place, 4/10 back with Randy McScrandy at 6th. FizzyFan91, I think that's his best qualifying result of the season, in 7th place with iProX Callum in 8th. The Contadins in 9th place with Ryan L83 rounding up the top 10, only a 2nd back. Tracy92 qualified 11th, but unfortunately has a 10 place penalty for turning round in the track too long. Mazy CZ got 12th with Medhead Ned in 13th place. ACR Jordan 14th with LC Speed Demon quite a way back, 2.1 seconds in 15th. Tyranno Tigger unfortunately did not start this race, so we have a 15-man grid. Let's go. It's race time. It's the Bahrain Grand Prix. The weather's clear, which is very unsurprising. It's xMattyG and TraceMe92 commentating, and I'm really looking forward to this one, Jody.
I'm looking forward to this race so much. Randy McScrandy is the man to keep an eye out for, all I'm saying.
That's what Jody says, so let's see what happens. The cars are now waiting for the lights to come on. The lights now, 2, 3 lights, 4 lights, 5 lights. Are we ready? Should we go? Yeah, let's go! FizzyFan91 gets a good start off in 7th place. He's now trying to look at the inside of outside of Randy even, but Ricky C is now coming under pressure from TRL Limitless up the inside and Randy from the outside. What a brilliant start from Randy. He's got oh my god!
What has happened there, Matthew? I do not know, but I think that might be xMattyG who's off.
I think it is indeed. I think there was an absolute collision and a half at turn 1 as Randy McScrandy going up the inside of Noble 299 for the lead. We have not seen this all season, so maybe we're in for an action-packed race for the lead, Jody.
We are. I have seen it and it's happened, and I'm a genius.
Great, and you haven't got the crystal ball out today. Anyway, the Contadins has now lost a place to Mazy CZ, so he's going to want to get past him because Mazy's on the prime tyre, and he does just that, going straight up the inside, so he gets back 10th place. That's good driving from him, considering he made that mistake. Ricky C, 4th place, Jody. This guy, he's a new kid, but he's doing well.
Yeah, he's making a few drivers pretty annoyed, but it's not because he's doing anything wrong. He's just really quick, and that angers people.
It does anger people, and it looks like he went up to 3rd place after TRL Limitless had run wide. And Jordan now losing a place to the Contadins, his teammate. Jordan on the prime tyre as well, so he did start 15th, so he was up to around 9th place was that. Just keeping out of, you know, all the carnage's way, up to 12th, 11th, LC runs wide, now up to 10th. Not bad, and now xMattyG.
Oh dear, that is not nice to look at, not nice at all.
I think he was lucky just to get a damaged front wing, as Noble very nearly got collected himself, but he's got the lucky charm today.
He does. It doesn't look any better from that angle either.
No, it's awful. I wouldn't recommend showing any of your children that video. That is really awful. But anyway, Ryan 83 and set. God, how he's lost it on lap 1 going through the right left-hander. It's a tricky corner at the best of times, but you don't see many people drifting it like that, do you,
That is a questionable move from Mazy, but we'll let him off. And now we're with Fizzy.
We are on board with Fizzy now, as Fizzy fan actually looking up the inside of Big Shot player for 6th place. Fizzy has got pace round here, Jody. It's really good to see.
It's absolutely fantastic to see, and Noble is going to come past Randy. He's had a lap of glory, and Noble, you know, takes what's his.
Noble does take back the lead, so maybe he's going to try and now make a gap to Randy McScrandy and those behind him, as Fizzy fan 91. Oh, look, Big Shot's actually got in front of iPro X Callum, so now Fizzy's going to try and get past the Force India driver, but there's a bit of contact as xMattyG steams up the inside, up back into 12th place now. And it looks like Mazy's trying to hang it around the outside, but is he going to make it stick? They're side by side. Oh my gosh, it's very close. And Tracy 92 following very closely behind as well, Jody.
He's watching this. He's hoping they collide. As we come into the braking zone, Mazy is up the inside and MattyG's round the outside. Can he hold it? He's being pushed extremely wide, but I think he's going to get this done because he's going to have the inside line for the next corner. Yes, he does. And it's good driving there. And Tracy's coming as well. Oh, this is going to be a difficult move around the outside. Going to have to turn in at the precise point because Mazy up the inside. Can he get on the power quicker than Mazy? He can. He's up to 13th place.
Yeah, still disappointing positions, obviously, for xMattyG, as he had that turn 1 incident, but Trace as well. I mean, he did have the pace he's shown before qualifying anyway, but down in 13th at the moment on the prime tyre, and now under pressure from Mazy again after making that mistake, as we now have a replay on board with Ryan getting absolutely punted off at turn 1 from the Contadins, it looked like, so I'm not too sure what happened there, but I don't think he'll be too happy.
He's definitely not going to be happy after that, but he's got to get on with it. He's in 11th place, and the field is still very close. So DRS train is he can get on the back and just follow.
Yeah, he tipped Randy for a good result, and he's up into 2nd place after I think he started 6th or 7th. So a really good start from him, and he's keeping on the back of Noble, which is crucial if he wants to have any chance of a victory today. And now Fizzy fan still in 7th place at the moment. iPro X Callum's run a little bit wide, so maybe he's got Kurz as well, Fizzy. So now he's going up he's going side by side with Callum at the moment. I think he's got the straight line speed to get past him before turn 1. He's not using any Kurz though, and it looks like Callum is. So now Callum is ahead again, but Fizzy now up the inside into the braking zone. Oh, beautiful move there by Fizzy, and I think he's now up to 6th place as xMattyG now side by side with Ryan, with Mazy right behind as well. Mazy's broken very late indeed. He's hit xMattyG.
Three-way, it's never going to work into that corner, and Ryan's come along and spanked Mazy around. I'm not sure he's going to wait for him there.
No, I know, that is... Oh, God, I'm not too sure what happened there, to be honest, but Mazy was very optimistic under braking and just hit into xMattyG. A bit careless driving there, to be honest, as Ricky C loses the back end really badly, and now Limitless is looking around the outside and is up into 3rd place, so Ricky has lost that 3rd place that he took from Limitless earlier on.
He has, but he's, must be 2 seconds off the lead, so even after that mistake, he's going to be pretty happy just to stick with Limitless and then maybe catch up Noble and Randy.
As we now have a replay of xMattyG getting hit into the side of by Mazy, and this is now on board with Mazy, as you can see, very optimistic indeed, considering there's 3 cars abreast, or even 4 at one point.
Yeah, I think he was actually pretty lucky there, xMattyG. It could have been a lot worse. He probably deserves it after the first corner.
What, a bit of luck or being hit again?
A bit of luck after the first corner, yeah.
To hear.
You could have lost there, you could have been last again.
Tell you what, that was quite... I'm not too sure about Ryan there. I think it was a little bit careless, just driving into the side of Mazy and not giving him any room whatsoever. So, be interesting to see if Mazy takes him to the stewards there, JD.
It will be, and here's Ryan. Not Ryan, this is definitely Randy. and he's just behind Noble, and we're going to cut to Trace92 is behind Ryan, and Jordan just ahead. Jordan looks like it's a bit too far to have behind the car ahead to have DRS, so they should both get through there. And
yes.
Yeah.
Randy now going up the inside of Noble for the lead once again. This is brilliant stuff. We have not seen a battle for the lead this entire season, I don't think. Well, not properly anyway. I think we had a bit of a good battle in Australia, but was there
that was
in Australia?
I don't know, as I'm never usually near the front. But no, I think this is the closest it's been.
Yeah, it's definitely it's going to be a close battle anyway, as Randy's definitely, you know, if he keeps within the DRS zone, he won't have to worry so much about losing time in the sort of middle sector, where I'm sure Noble's a little bit quicker. As you can see, Noble hounding over the back of Randy for first place, and Limitless has dropped off a little bit. So I don't think Limitless will be getting DRS on Noble just yet. So I think Noble, with Limitless behind him in the Sauber, he's going to want to get into the lead and just bridge the gap to Randy.
Yeah, I think this race is going to come down to when they pit, if they can get a good outlap on cold tyres, because that's going to make or break Randy's race, I think, because he's just not probably as good as Noble on cold tyres, who is just frankly amazing.
That's an interesting point there. We'll see what happens when the pit stops come around. But now we're on board with FizzyFan91 in 6th place, doing a brilliant job, I may add, and right behind Big Shot. And now we're back on board with Noble, who has saved a lot of his KERS for the final corner. He's been cruising behind Randy, I think, to be honest, and he's now just waiting for the opportunity. He's got the KERS, he's got the, I think he's probably going to put it up to Rich, is he? No, he's even sitting in standards. He's that confident that he's going to get past him. He opens the DRS and just flies past him. And now xMattyG, Jody.
Yeah, xMattyG he's next to two cars, Callum and LC, and he's going to get the DRS. Hasn't got KERS yet, but as soon as he gets it, he's going to go on it and go down the inside, I'm sure. He does. It's going to be 3. He's going to want to get a little bit ahead for the braking zone to avoid any collisions. Brake just after the 100-metre board. A bit late. Hopefully there's no cars out wide, and he is away. And now there's a nice big chunk of road. He can put in maybe some purple laps and see how close he can get to Continent before the first pit stop. Yeah,
obviously it's a disappointing start for xMattyG, wasn't it? Considering he had such a great qualifying, only 300 behind Noble for pole. So it would have been a good battle between the two Toro Rosso drivers, maybe, but we'll never know. But we'll see.
Yeah, it definitely would. It would have been, Matt, because before the race, the times that xMattyG were putting in were very quick.
Oh, well, yeah. You see, the lap times don't lie. But anyway, Randy McScrandy in 2nd place, still behind Noble. So he's doing a brilliant job, and Limitless is well within DRS now. So this could well be a 4-way horse, as Ryan would put it, for the victory today.
It definitely could be a 4-way horse. Ricky is having, well, the season of his life at the moment. So if he can get he's got a podium this year, has he, Matt?
He has. He got it in Malaysia. So he's now. Fizzy's got ahead of Big Shot. So now Big Shot is now fighting back for his 5th place, and he's got DRS. So he's going to steam straight past him. And it's just too easy, really. I think the DRS is a little bit overpowered here, as now Callum is now looking up the inside. Going to look up the inside of xMattyG, is he? Into turn 1. What's going to happen here? There's going to be it's going to be a little bit of contact.
I closed my eyes. I'm not going to lie. I thought he was going to be spinning, but luckily he wasn't.
Oh, yeah, just not enough contact to make xMattyG spin. So that was lucky for him. As it seems like Trace had a very strange line going through turn 2 there, but he seems to have used his KERS to stay ahead of Ryan.
He does. He's locked the front brakes, but he looks like he's kept that position. Constant's having a good race here as well, just behind Big Shot and Fizzy here. So this could be some good points for him. Yeah, he's showing some good pace, actually, considering he was down in sort of 10th, 11th, battling with Mazy on the primes, and he's now caught up straight to Fizzy Fan, but Fizzy is locked up, as you said before, Jody. That front left locks up so easily through that double left-hander, and Constant has now been promoted to 6th place, so this is brilliant. It wasn't nice to see as a long-term Fizzy fan. I mean, it's just not good. Fizzy fan, I like that. And Randy still behind Noble, and he's still within the DRS, so this is well and truly still on for the lead. It looks like Limitless is getting quite close as well, so I don't know, I think Limitless may have a little bit more pace than Randy, as Trace92 running very wide there out of the corner that Mark Webber, I think I remember from this season, like to run very wide out of. But anyway, yeah, as I said, Limitless is very quick indeed, and he's now looking up the inside of Randy going into turn 1. This could work well into Noble's hands if they start battling, Jody. It definitely could. Nobles might put it into fast at this point and make his push. He's been toying with Randy, I think, at the moment. So if he can make a push now, get a couple of seconds, then, well, he might just win again. Yeah, he may well do. I think people are getting a bit sick of him winning, but, you know, what can you do?
I mean, he's got the pace, he's got the consistency, and people have just got to step up their games. And Tracy92 still in 12th place on the prime tyre. I know he is on the slower compound, but you know, he wouldn't have wanted to see himself battling with Ryan and people like that, as Ryan runs very wide indeed. And Tracy92 doing a Sebastian Vettel up the inside. Beautiful move there, gets it done perfectly, but runs very wide indeed. But I think he's going to keep 11th place.
Yeah, he is. And you say he's on the prime tyre. Ryan's in 12th on the option tyre, so he's doing a lot worse than Tracy92 at the moment.
That is a very good point indeed, but Ryan's not had a very good season anyway. I think he's had a disconnection, hasn't he? And he's been disqualified from Australia, so it's not looking too great for him. But anyway, on board with Fizzy Fan 91, now taking 6th place back from Contadins after that earlier mistake at the double left-hander as Big Shot sets the fastest lap of a 34.3, so he's now trying to step away from Fizzy and Contadins, which is you know, he's got the pace as well, Jody.
He does, yeah, but Fissy, after that mistake, he's come back through to Constance. He's going to be determined. It looks like we must have had a wobble there. It looked a bit weird. He's defending up the inside, not coming into the point. He might have been coming into the pit lane, and Constance is going to take that place back. Yeah,
the tyres, as you can see on Constance, is they're getting quite worn. As Ryan looks like he may have run a little bit wide there, as he had a bit of dirt on his front left, but he's just steamed past Trace again. And Trace back down to 12th again. It seems like he's getting hindered by Ryan, just constantly DRS overtaking him, and he just can't push as much as he'd want to.
No, it doesn't. But if he's going to use his curves here, he's still on standard, I think, so it's going to be difficult. He's going to have to do some late braking to make the move stick here. Ryan's brake a little bit later, but he's got the inside line. Can he get on the power? Ryan's still hanging it out there, but it's going to be extremely tight.
Oh no! I think Trace lost the back end a little bit there through that double left, but then, sorry, not double left, right left, and I don't know, is Ryan just gone into neutral there? I'm very surprised. I don't know why that wasn't his fault, was it?
No, it was not his fault. I think he sort of thought a bit guilty it was his fault. I don't know, he definitely wasn't, and then he's made a village mistake and gone into neutral. Yeah,
that's very, very strange indeed, but as I've said before in these last couple of laps, Randy is still on the back of Noble. So, Noble, I don't know. You would have thought by now, before the pit stops, that Noble would have liked to have at least got out of the DRS zone to, you know, just make it a little bit easier for him, to be honest.
Yeah, maybe he is struggling genuinely with the pace of Limitless and Randy, and it's going to be a battle to the end.
As Ryan runs straight into the gravel trap, and it looks like he's going to go down to last place. So Ryan, who had really decent pace in F1 2011, is really not having a great season on this game. I mean, last season he wasn't great either, so as he did get relegated, didn't he, Jody? But then he came back up due to the lack of spots in the league.
He did, yeah. I mean, he's got the pace. I'm sure he won't get relegated again. Hope not, because we do enjoy battles, seeing it with Ryan, and he's come back straight through one, Mazy.
Sorry, just to quickly say something. It seems like xMattyG has pitted, and this is a good time to introduce our pit lane reporter, Harry Jacks. Harry, do you have anything on that?
Yeah, he's come in a lap earlier than what a lot of the other teams were expecting, as he had some front wing damage from the turn 1 incident, so he needs to get that undercut on the drivers ahead, whilst the front wing change costs him a bit of time in the pit lane. But his tyres might be struggling towards the end of the race, but he'll have to manage that for now.
Okay, so do you think that the tyres will last 20 laps for Matt?
It'll be touch and go, but I think it's a good decision by him to come in, as he was sort of in the mid-pack. He needed to change front wings, so that would have cost him a few seconds, so getting this undercut of the drivers that were around him is a good decision by him, as far as I'm concerned.
Okay, thank you very much, Harry. As it looks like iProX Callum has run wide out of that double left-hander. As we've said before, it's a very tricky corner, and Trace has now been promoted up into 9th place. I think I think a few drivers have pitted, Jody, including xMattyG, but I don't know, how do you think Trace is doing at the moment?
I think it's now sort of make or break time for his race. He's got a bit of clear air as all the cars are coming in, and if he can put in sort of 6-7 really quick laps before he pits, then he can get himself in the points.
Yeah, and I'm sorry, Jody, we're going to have to cut across you. The leaders are in. Harry Jacks.
Yeah, we've got Noble and Randy in by the looks of things. They're coming in on the optimal lap at the end of lap 9, so the primes should be in half decent condition by the end of the race, while a few other drivers look to be going a bit longer, so they might be stronger towards the end of the race. But this undercut is very important around here, as that can gain you a good second at least. We've also got Fissy Fan in the Marussia pits by the looks of things, another standard 2.9 second pit stop, and he's on his way.
Brilliant. Thank you very much for that, Harry. As Randy coming out of the pits now on very cold primes, and he's got Jordan all over the back of him. I don't think he's going to want to have Jordan overtaking him, and he's using his curves wisely to pull away from him. So Randy still, I think he's actually, yeah, he's got Trace in the middle of Noble and himself. So, oh gosh, this could be a race-deciding moment, Jody.
It could be, but Trace is his teammate, so you'd think that if Randy got near him, he would let him past, but we're going to have to see how quickly he can catch him, because he's about a second and a half behind, and at the moment, with his cold tyres, Trace probably not going to be much slower than him.
No, as we have a replay of Mazy CZ going past Ryan L83 once again. It's a battle for 13th place, not the most exciting of places to be battling for, but they're still doing it. And now Ricky C, who's in second place, is now taking over from TRL Limitless's lead. And Harry, any news on Limitless?
Yeah, he's coming in a lap later than the guys that were around him, Noble and Randy, so it could be, I don't know whether it's going to be good or bad for him, because he's got that extra, well, less laps on the primes to the end of the race, but he's also gone longer on the options, so Randy and Noble with their undercut might have pulled out a few seconds on him at this point of the race.
It'll be interesting to see, as we now have a car coming out of the pits now. Is that Limitless? It is.
It is Limitless, yes.
So Randy, I think, has either made a mistake or something, because I'm sure Limitless was behind Randy, wasn't he, before the stops?
He definitely was behind Randy before the stops. He must have had a poor in-lap, which we haven't unfortunately seen, but now these two look like they're going to be battling for second and third, because I think Noble's now well away.
Yeah, it seems like Noble's definitely broken away from the DRS zone at least, so anything can happen though, Jody. Let's not discount these two, especially Limitless, because he's got some good pace around here, but he runs a little bit wide now, and Randy right behind him. He's not going to try something into the double left-hander, surely. That's going to be catastrophic. But no, he's just chilling behind him, just making sure he can stay within the DRS zone and then maybe get past there.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Ricky's leading at the moment, so we'll see what times he's going to be doing, see where he comes out to them. But surely he's probably going to lose 4 or 5 seconds, so that's going to, throw his chance away of a podium.
Yeah, I think Ricky, he wanted to, as he said after the race, he actually wanted to lead an F1 race, so that's why he stayed out for a few laps longer than everybody else. But it could pay dividends for the end of the race when his primes are a little bit fresher, as the Contadins from second place comes into the pits, Harry.
Yeah, another driver going a lot longer on these options compared to what the teams thought would be the optimal time to pit, so he'll be stronger towards the end of the race while others are struggling, as you see him in the pit box now. Another sub 3 second pit stop from the Ferrari crew, so good job by them.
Yeah, and now we're on board with Noble 2909 trying to get past LC. He does not want to be sitting behind LC for too long. I have a feeling he's going to use all of his curves to get past him. Yes, he is indeed. And now going up the inside, Noble is looking much, much stronger for the victory now.
He is. LC has made it very clear that he wants to go on primes and then hold up the leaders when they come through, and you could see how hard he was trying to keep him behind as he locked up both front brakes into the first corner, but it's just inevitable really. Noble's going to be 2 seconds quicker than him at this point in the race. Yeah,
as Ryan now comes into the pits on lap 12, so how do you think Ryan's race is going, Harry?
A little bit disappointing, to be honest. I mean, he's been on the options for the first stint and he's still finding it difficult to sort of break into that top 10. There looks to be someone stuck on the track at turn 1.
Yeah, it's big shot player. It looks like his wheel has disconnected, and look, he's now down into 14th place. Now going to be 15th, I see. So Big Shot has had a wheel malfunction, and unfortunately means he's had to stop.
No, but I think he's carried on. Fair play to him. People have had that error before. The Fanasec, I think he's got a Fanasec glitch before, and they've quit. So I think that's very much. I respect Big Shot at this moment.
That's good to hear. As Ricky C now comes into the pits, Harry, where do you think he's going to come out?
It's going to be a tough one to call. Obviously, he's led the laps that he wanted to, which is good for him. It's a good job. So he's now putting on the primes. He's gone a lot longer on that option stint than the guys that were around him in the pits, as he was in the battle for the top 4 before the pit stops. But I think he's going to find himself quite a way down the field at this moment in time.
Yeah, so I think he's going for the long run, and he's just going to try and sort of be strong towards the end of the race, as he's now defending from Mazy CZ. Oh, he corner cuts horrendously there to try and keep the position, but Mazy has steamed past him, which is not good news for Ricky, because is he battling Mazy for 6th place? I think he is, isn't he?
No, I don't think. Mazy hasn't pitted yet, So this is just affecting Ricky's race, and then he's gone extremely wide there.
That's true, actually. I do remember now that he was on the prime. So TraceMe92 overtakes LC Speed Demon. These two are battling for position as neither of them have pitted, and he's up into second place. Unfortunately, probably not a net second place, do you think, Jody?
No, he can dream at the moment of being in second place, as someone's gone wide up there. LC on his warm primes, going wide, dropping back now. He's was ahead of Trace for a good amount of laps, but now he's just going to sitting duck, really. Yeah, Limitless looking up the inside of LC, wants to dispose of him as quickly as possible, as Randy's now going to have a look as well. I think he's going to, if he wants to be challenging for second place, he needs to get past LC as soon as possible. He's going to get DRS, I'm sure. Obviously he will, because LC's right in front of him, and now he's going up the inside of LC, going towards the last corner now. I am hoping that these two keep it clean, because they're not even racing. So now going up the inside, Randy, he's gone a little bit wide there, but I think he's got the run on him. It should be fine. And then now side by side, and LC using all of his curves, it looks like, out of the final. Look at the speed difference. Limitless has had a lag spike by the looks of things. Yeah, this is great to see from LC. He's on the worn tyres. You thought it was all over for him, but he's just fought back. It's fantastic. Yeah, it's not great to see that Limitless having a lag spike, though, and being forced to go behind Randy again due to his console freezing up or something. As Ricky now gets a touch from Mazy. Mazy seems to be touching quite a few cars this race, but anyway, neither of them came off particularly bad. As Randy now going up the inside of LC. LC now, oh god, they're very close indeed. Please don't make contact. Ricky C now going down the outside of Mazy. Oh gosh, Mazy is battling extremely hard for a position he is definitely not racing for, because he's got to pit again. So I'm not sure this is really working out for him, because he's just losing more and more time, and now Jordan's right behind him. Yeah, but all these guys, they just like a battle, really, and you know that it's not going to make it easy for these drivers, because they're not going to make it easy for him if the roles are reversed. Yeah, but I just think it's a very silly thing to do. What's the point in fighting for a position that you're not even fighting for, if you're looking at the race in the long term? Well, it's open to debate. I can see why you would want to. And oh my god, what's happened there? Randy's just been absolutely ploughed by LC Speed Demon. You see, that's what I mean. Why are these two racing? I don't understand that, because now Randy's just lost touch from TRL Limitless, and that's maybe second place gone for him. Yeah, well, you know, I think that was just a really bad error from LC, and I think it was a fair battle up to that point, so not good to see though. No, it's not great to see, but anyway, this racing incident, so I'm sure LC didn't mean it, and as you could see a minute ago, he did give the position back. As it looks like there's quite a few cars going on here. We've got Mazy, we've just got Jordan, who just ran wide, we've got Fizzy, Contadins, and xMattyG, all trying to battle for about 7th place, I think, here, and now it looks like Contadins going up the inside of his teammate, ACR Jordan, and it looks like he's making it stick, and xMattyG now seeing Jordan running wide. He's using some of his curves now looking around the outside of Contadins. Oh my god, Jody, really? That is an insane move. It's not going to happen. Contadins says no, but MattyG has an absolute task on his hands if he wants to score some serious points today. He's got pretty much the whole field ahead of them. He's got fresher tyres than a few of them, so he should at least get 2-3 places, but I think he's going to be aiming for 4th. That's an interesting target there, as he's down in 9th at the moment. There's only 14 laps to go, so it's going to have to be a pretty decent drive to get any sort of decent points, as you say. But now the Contadins has been overtaken by xMattyG, and xMattyG is now watching Mazy, and I'm not too sure who that is. Who do you think it is, Jody? It is Fizzy Fan. They're battling pretty hard indeed, and now they've got run wide. Now it looks like xMattyG putting it up into rich fuel mixture. Mazy's lost the car, and now xMattyG using the rest of his curves, going past Fizzy Fan and taking 2 positions. Yep, he has gained. I'm pretty sure he was in 11th about half a lap ago, and some cars have pitted, and he's overtaken some, so pretty decent half a lap. Yeah, pretty decent half a lap for him. So now he's going to be thinking, right, now who's next? Because he's going to be pushing on for as many points as possible if he wants to be fighting for at least 2nd in the championship. Yeah, 2nd in the championship at the moment is all he can aim for. As Noble is currently in 1st, about 5 seconds ahead. He's going to be his 4th win unless anything goes wrong. Yeah, it's oh gosh, Ryan. He's corner cut that corner against Bedhead Ned. I'm not gonna lie, I wouldn't have thought Ryan would be fighting for last place round here. Do you? No, I don't. And it's our first footage of Bedhead Ned that we've seen. So he's replaced. Yeah, he's replaced Raven in the leagues this race, and we're going to see what he can do in the future races, because obviously this race was kind of ruined on the first corner.
Yeah, I hope he has a better race next time out and doesn't hit into people such as xMattyG. But anyway, the contadins now flying past Fizzy Fan with the DRS as xMattyG sets the new fastest lap of the 33.2. He is pushing on to try and catch the top 5, and now Mazy CZ pitting. Harry Jacks.
Yeah, he's going on to the options as he started the race on Prime, so this last stint should see him putting in some pretty solid lap times. He'll be hoping to gain some positions possibly on the guys ahead who will be struggling on their primes towards the end of the race.
Yeah, it's actually interesting, Jody, to see he's in the cockpit cam. We haven't really spoken about that. It's an interesting camera angle, isn't it?
It is. I mean, fair play to him for being anywhere near the pace using that thing, because I have tried using it and I'm a good 2-3 seconds off what I can do. So I mean, if it was a cockpit, everyone was forced to stay in the cockpit, I'm pretty sure he'd be on the podium.
That's neat. You never know, maybe in the future we will have just cockpit enabled if they introduce a new sort of concept to the game where you can ban certain camera angles.
Yeah, I'm sure Mazy will be campaigning for it.
I'm sure he will. As Fizzy, look, I think the DRS is well too overpowered around here. I mean, DRS is supposed to get the cars side by side, but they're literally flying past and being 3-4 car lengths ahead by the first corner.
Yeah, I've seen in some other leagues that they've actually made it so you have to use all your gears to the left so the DRS is like negated, but obviously it's pretty hard to enforce, so we can't really do it in the ARL.
Yeah, especially in very competitive leagues, you're going to have some people that will want to just nudge it up maybe one click, and then it just becomes a little bit of a farce. But anyway, ARL X360 now not fighting for last place, as there's a few cars have pitted, but him and Bedhead Ned are having a right good old scrap here, so it's good to see that Ned, he's picked himself up after that turn 1 incident and fighting pretty cleanly. Yeah,
we saw the first corner incident, which is not a fair representation of Bedhead Ned. I've had a really good race with him around Brazil a couple of weeks back before the season started, and we had a 10-lap really close, clean battle with no crashes at all, so I'm sure the rest of the season it'll be fine.
I hope so indeed, I really do, because he's an interesting talent, as Mazy has absolutely smashed Bedhead Ned off.
He's waited for him though, He
has waited for him, so fair play to him, but I think he pretty much knew that he had missed his braking point by about 50 metres. So
it's a horrible feeling when that happens, actually.
Yeah, you've had it before, didn't you, in, was it Australia Season 5?
Yeah, I took out LC because I decided to brake at about 20 metres, but less said about that the better.
Yeah, let's not talk about that. Very embarrassing moment for Trace 92. As Jordan looked like he lost the back end out of turn 1 there, so but he's lost the position to Bedhead Ned. And looks like Mazy's having a little look as well. I'm sure Mazy is very frustrated with his driving today, and he's in last place, Jody.
He is, but I really want to get to the battle with Fissy and Constance, because I know they're really close at the moment, battling for 6th and 7th, and I just really want to see how Fissy's doing.
Well, maybe the cameraman will show it as Trace92 sets a new fastest lap of a 1:33.2, and Noble out front now going purple as well, so maybe we're about to see a pretty astonishing lap time by Noble. We'll see, as he is 5.6 seconds ahead of TRL Limitless. He's cruising again, Jody, he's cruising.
He is, he's just in Trace's fastest lap, and Trace is on the options, and he's like, I'm on primes, I'm going to beat that time by probably 8/10 just to show you how quick I am.
I hope that's not actually 8/10, otherwise you've definitely got your crystal ball out. We'll have a look, as we're now on board with his teammate xMattyG up into 5th place now. So it's a comeback drive, Jody.
It is a good comeback drive, and Ricky is 4th place. Like I said, I thought that MattyG could get up to, so we're going to see if he can do it. I think Fissy will be slightly annoyed at the battling with Constance, because I think he could have been in that battle for 4th place with Ricky, because Ricky had a bit of a mare fumbling around with Mazy at one point, so he's pretty upset he couldn't capitalise on that.
Yeah, I think Fizzy, as much as Fizzy will probably be disappointed that he could have maybe got a few places higher, I think he'll just be happy to be in the points, to be honest, as Mazy and Jordan are getting very close indeed, going to this double left-hander. Mazy's now got a better run out of the corner. He's getting very close. He's not giving him much room at all. But it's great to see that these guys are fighting so hard.
Yeah, it's 14th, 15th, and yeah, it's Noble's 32.4.
It was actually 8/10. Jody, put your crystal ball away, please. Cheers.
Would it?
As Jordan now still looking up the inside as Mazy going around the outside. Oh my gosh, taking a very tight line indeed. That's compromised him completely for the next sort of run into the next corner. So Mazy is now taking him, but maybe he did that on purpose, and now he'll get DRS and probably steam straight back past him again.
Yeah, I'm not sure why Mazy's defending there, because on lap 21 he's just going to get absolute load of rubber on his tyres and then get a bad exit from the corner. But to be fair, he's got a decent exit from the corner. He's probably got all his curves.
He's now, Jordan is going to steam past him. Oh my gosh, that's some very late defending from Mazy.
That was hungry.
Dodgy.
That was Schumi hungry.
That was Michael Schumacher hungry. Yep, that was very, very odd. As just like Jordan's got a bit of the engine glitch, which TRL Limitless had. Is that last race, I think?
Maybe they had a scrape at some point and he's wiped it onto the back of his car.
Yeah, maybe. But Mazy CZ looking like he's going to be struggling a little bit if he's going to follow that for the next few laps. So I think he'll want to get past as soon as possible, as he's now got DRS looking at the inside of Jordan again into turn 1. I'm not going to lie, I'm enjoying this battle, but what, you know, are there other battles going on, Jody? I'm pretty sure there are.
There's definitely other battles on. I can see 2 cars just ahead of them actually, which is Big Shot and Bedhead Ned. Obviously, we don't have a camera on that, unfortunately. But the main battle, I've said before, it's Fissy and Contadins. I want to see it now.
But we're going to have to enjoy this for now, as Jordan, you know, let's talk about Jordan for a minute. I mean, he's come up from, what was it, F3? And
he's come up from F3 and he really brings a smile to the face of most F1 drivers. He's sort of your happy, go-lucky lad, really.
Yeah, and he likes to give out his blumpkins as well, you know, now and again. So it's good to see. But Jordan, I don't think he really expected to be scoring many points as he came up from F1. But he's definitely trying, bless him. So, you know, fair play for him for that. As we're now on board with Fizzy, you wanted this battle, you've got it now, Jody, as he's lost it out of the first corner, and Contadins now going up the inside, but Fizzy using some of his curves, trying to defend into turn 3. It looks like it's going to be quite close, but Contadins, is he going to break later than Fizzy? No, he's not. Fizzy's broken very late there, but he's managed to keep the power on early and keep the position well there, Jody.
He has. I thought he was going to go wide because he was on the marbles, but he somehow kept it on the black stuff. And he's got +1 laps of fuel at this point, so he should be able to do most of the lap in standard and home straight on fast. So that might be enough to keep Contadins behind. We'll have to see.
Yeah, if I were him, I'd probably put it into fast and try and get a gap and get out of the DRS zone. As xMattyG now behind Ricky C for 4th place, with Randy McScrandy only just down the road in 3rd, as you can see there. He's now, he got caught on the curb a little bit there, but anyway, he's put it up in a rich fuel mixture. He's got no curves left, but he's now got DRS. He's using some of his curves to maybe get up to the top speed pretty quickly, and yes, Ricky is not trying to defend at all, as xMattyG now up into 4th place.
Yeah, after the first corner, I don't think MattyG, in his wildest dreams, thought he could sniff a podium, but he's 1.7 seconds behind his Randy. No, that's Ricky before, but he's very, very close to Randy, and can he get a podium? We'll
see, but as you know, with anyone who gets taken out in the first corner, you're going to use a lot of your fuel to try and save it, as Ricky loses the back end pretty badly there indeed.
Yeah, it couldn't have been from tyres going off because he pitted later than everyone else, so it was just a mistake.
Yeah, but as I was saying, sorry, xMattyG, he pitted quite early, so he might well fall back into the clutches of Ricky C with his older tyres, as Ricky did pit quite late, didn't he, from the options?
He did, he pitted lap 13, so his tyres should be in great nick, so
he does save a lot of fuel towards the end of the race, doesn't he? That's one of his tactics, to save a lot of fuel to the at the end of the race when everyone's used all of their fuel, and then just steam up behind them and take the positions, as he did with me in with xMattyG in Malaysia.
Yeah, if he does that again, MattyG won't be happy, but after the first lap, where he needs to be happy.
Yeah, I think any result's a good result for him. But we're now on board again with ACR Jordan and Mazy battling very hard indeed. We're now on board with Ryan, for some reason downshifting to the first gear at about 120 miles an hour. That's never going to work. And Bedhead Ned now taking, oh my gosh, they're close. Wow, see, that's what I mean. Bedhead Ned, you know, he's made the mistake, but fair play to him. He is racing really cleanly now.
Yeah, that was nearly ended in catastrophe. And now we're back on board with the battle of the moment. Battle for 14th. It means everything to these two boys.
Yes, the dedication these two are showing. They're just DRSing after DRSing, pretty much. That's where the overtakes are happening, as Jordan decides not to take that corner properly. But we'll forget about that one anyway, as, you know... I just can't believe it. You never see this amount of like camera flipping, footage of last place in the real F1, but fair play, it's still enjoyable and I'm enjoying it. So Fizzy Fan 91 in 6th place, defending from the Contadins. Where is the Contadins? It doesn't look like he's very close, but oh, he's downshifted too quickly, I think. He's locked up his brakes as Contadins is now going to get a very decent run out of turn 2, as you can see now, using some of his curves. I think he's in fast fuel mixture, even though I can't read that Italian writing. And he's now up into 6th place, so Fizzy, he's going to have to step on it if he wants that 6th place.
Yeah, as these two are battling, Trace392 is in clean air on options and catching them pretty quickly, so if they don't sort their lives out and stop battling, I'm sure Trace...
They're side by side at the moment, which is definitely not what they need if they want to be clear in Trace392. But you know, it's great racing. So these two, they're very, very set on getting that 6th place, I think, and it's going to be crucial if they want to be staying up in this league.
Yeah, 8 points is I'm pretty sure it's going to bump you from last to about maybe 9th in the table, so it's going to be pretty huge. Pretty huge, as these two are still battling for the 6th place. Contadins braking a little bit earlier to try and get a better run through this long left-hander, but Fizzy seems to have got on the power pretty early himself. But I think if I were one of those two, I'd want to be Contadins, because he's going to have the DRS and he's going to be able to get past him into the last lap. As now Ricky C, pushing very hard indeed, is now back on the rear end of xMattyG, and he's got a little bit of his curves left, and he will have DRS. xMattyG looking like he's fuel saving a little bit as well. So now Ricky C looking around the outside, going into turn 1. What's going to happen, Jody? He is broke nice and late, but Matt has... that was pretty... I'll let him off that, but it was a bit dangerous, I would say. And
it was dangerous.
Luckily, hasn't span him out, and well, we're back with the battle for 6th place. Fizzy is very close to Constance there. He's got a bit of his 3/4 of his curves left, which he's probably going to use at the final corner as it's the last lap.
Ryan going up the inside of Bedhead Ned, coming onto the last lap. Is he going to get DRS as well to pull away from Bedhead Ned? But it looks like Bedhead Ned's had a lot of his curves, but yes, Ryan does have DRS, so I don't think he'll be worrying about him at all going into turn 1, as you can see. But now we're back on board for the battle for 4th place between xMattyG and Ricky C. Had a bit of a contact into turn 1, but it's, you know, they're still together now. So who is going to get 4th place? Seems like, yeah, Ricky has got a lot of pace compared to xMattyG.
Yeah, he's on fast at the moment, is Ricky, and I'm sure Matt's probably filtering between standard and lead at this point, so he's going to find it tough to keep him at bay.
It's the last lap, so what's going to happen? There's a battle for 4th, and there's a battle for 6th. And I'm sure we're going to come on board with Noble299, who I am sure is going to be taking the victory, as Ricky C is now looking right behind xMattyG, going to the last few corners. Look at the amount of curves he's got left though, but now Noble299 takes the victory. And look, as I said, the curves, he's got such a
that's all too
advantage.
easy.
Much too easy for Ricky C, and it looks like xMattyG is going to have to settle for 5th place.
Yeah, it's like Ricky C had DRS then, but he just didn't. He just had all his curves and was on fast, and MattyG was on, well, lean, so...
Yeah, it's a good decision from Ricky to save his fuel and save his curves for those last few corners. And it looks like the Contadins may just about finish ahead of Fizzy Fan. It's going to be
He's coming, Fizzy's coming, Fizzy's coming!
Who's going to get it? I think Contadins got that. I think Contadins did get that. What an excellent drive by the pair of them.
Yeah, I really enjoyed that battle. And I think we could have seen some more of it, but I saw enough to know that it was a great battle. What
a brilliant move by ACR Jordan. I know we've been saying how much footage these guys have been having, and they are in last place, but my god, these two are going at it hammer and tongs. They're going side by side throughout the entire of the pretty much first sector there, Jody. This is brilliant to see.
They are, and this is just pride at stake, no points. I mean, it could come down to, you know, how many top finishes if they're on the same points at the end of the year, but I highly doubt it.
I tell you what, that was a brilliant move by Jordan there, with the rubber on his tyres as well, as Ryan comes home in a very disappointing 12th place. And it looks like Jordan is going to win this battle between... Oh gosh, no, okay, he's just about getting it. Sorry, I thought he was going to go flying straight off. And Mazy CZ coming home in last place. He is going to be extremely disappointed, as you can see, spinning across the line.
It's over.
It is over. And the replay, this is another replay. Look how close these two were. Fizzy being run onto the grass pretty much. He timed that well as well. Do you see that? As he was going over the line, he went on to -1 lap.
He fist pumped as well, even though he didn't get that 6th, so he's happy with his points.
I'm sure he is. Fizzy Fan getting his first points of the season after his ridiculous luck. And Noble taking the victory. So Noble299 taking another victory 3.5 seconds ahead of TRL Limitless in second place, with Randy McScrandy in third place, 14.8 seconds in the end behind. So I don't think he'll be very happy with the amount he was behind at the end there. Ricky C, or Rich C, in fourth place. He's going to be delighted with that, with xMattyG only 3/10 behind after that turn 1 incident in fifth. The Contadins in 6th place, 25.2 seconds behind, with Fizzy Fan 8 thousandths behind in 7th, Tracy 92 in 8th, Big Shot Player in 9th, with LC Speed Demon rounding up the top 10. iProX Callum just missing out on the points in 11th, with Ryan 83 another disappointing result in 12th. Bedhead Ned in 13th place, a minute behind, with ACR Jordan coming home in 14th place. And Mazy CZ losing that battle between ACR Jordan and himself. And in 15th place, with Tyranno Tigger, as we said at the start, he didn't start the race. The Drivers' Championship, Jody, Noble 299 steaming ahead.
He has a 52-point lead over xMattyG, and that's Tracy92 has bumped himself up onto the top 8 of the leaderboard.
Yeah, let's talk about the rest of them, Jody. And TRL Limitless in third place, with Randy McScrandy in fourth. Look at the battle between second, third, fourth, fifth, and sixth. There's 9 points between the pair of them, the lot of them. So that's going to be very interesting to see how that pans out. And the Drivers' Championship from 9th to 16th, as you can see, Bedhead Ned still looking to get his first points. But look, everyone else has scored points, Jody. It's impressive.
Yeah, Fissy's, that was his first points of the season, so he's going to be extremely happy with that 6 points.
Toro Rosso steaming ahead in the constructors as well, with xMattyG and Noble 299 in first and second place. So looks like that's pretty much wrapped up already, unless something really seriously bad happens to Noble and Matty. With McLaren in second. Look, there's a very close battle between second, third, and fourth there, Jody.
There is. It's going to hopefully go down to the wire, because battle for second is the same in the constructors as the drivers. It's the only battle really, because the battle for first is gone after 4 races.
But anyway, thank you very much for watching round 4, the Bahrain Grand Prix. We're going to see you next time for Catalonia, and you're in for a treat, trust me. I've been Matthew Gallagher.
I've been Jody Mills.
And we'll see you next week. Bye bye.